Okay, in today's adventure, I'm going to show you how to really dirty things up. Okay, here's a polygon box. We're going to start with a very simple concept with this. Of course, you would have to do the UVs if it was a very or a very complex item, but this is just a very, very, very basic concept. Okay, the first thing I want to do is create a material. So under Hypershade, let's create something. We're going to create a new material. This material is going to be a Lambert. For the material, I want to go under like textures. And I'm going to expand this column out so you can see stuff. 3D textures. There we go. I'm going to choose volume noise. I'm going to middle mouse button click and drag this over to the ball and go into bump map. Then I'm going to click and drag this over to this and choose high quality rendering. Alright, so this noise value right here, let's see if I can shrink this down a little bit so you can see. This noise value, I'm going to adjust it. First I click on the actual noise itself, which is this. I can up its threshold. Its amplitude. If I go down a little bit, I could choose what kind of noise. This time, I'm not going to put billow. I'm going to try a few things. Here's wispy. But I like purlin noise myself. Okay. Now, if I adjust both amplitude and threshold, you can see I can get some halfway clean results. I got this box, and now it looks kind of like cork. Drag that down so you can see more. Now the scale factor. What if we did this? Maybe 0.25 by 0.25 by 0.25. Okay, now I get this pitted surface. If I up the frequency level, you can see it really gets noisy. And the time value makes it even more so. Let's go back up the threshold. So I get this nice surface noise that's appearing on this thing, but it's very, what do I say, uniformed. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very, very uniform thing. So I'm going to kind of mess this thing up a little bit and rotate it just a little bit. This will fix the uniformity of it all. Scale it. Now it looks a little bit more non-uniformed. So the pattern doesn't exist. All right. So the deal is I want to take this and put it into as a texture. Okay. How do I do that? Well, two ways. Okay. One way, I'm going to be using under rendering, batch make mental ray, square box. Okay, the first thing I would do is set up the process. Well, here's the first stage of the process. I'm going to make a big, huge box and up its ambient color. Now remember, I made the other one a new texture. So Lambert 1 can be the ambient. There we go. Now, under rendering, or wait, lighting, batch make mental ray square box, I'm going to say not bake shadows, but only light and color. Grunge cube color. I'm just going to keep this very simple, 1024, baked to one map. It's got a final gathering quality. So let's go up here to the render settings and choose mental ray. That way I can turn on a feature called final gathering. Close that out. Let's project new. On my desktop, I'm going to call this Grunge Cube. I'm not going to fill out any of these. I'm just going to hit accept. That makes a folder on my desktop. I'm going to save scene as. I'm going to save this within this folder. Notice it automatically goes to it now. Up at the top, I'm going to choose single object. And I'm going to make sure my bottom time view is showing. I'm just going to hit convert. Good. The next thing I want to do is, while I'm in here, is choose OCC. Okay. And then go up here to ambient occlusion. I'm going to use the same settings and just hit convert. Okay. The ambient occlusion works a little bit differently. I got to get rid of this box. And that's why it's all black. Try that one more time. There we go. Now, if I wanted something else, check this out. So I'm going to say insert some edges. Now you can insert edges because basically inserting edges do not affect the UVs. So if I insert edges over here on all sides, once I have all sides, I can go mesh smooth. Again, this will not affect UVs. Let's hit convert this time. Notice I have this nice sharp edge right here now, all the way around it. So that's a great way to create small edges around your 3D object. All right, let's look at these back in Photoshop. We'll do that in the next video.